I mean, look, I assume most people know you here, but just for the sake of anyone that finds on YouTube or whatever, could you give like a quick intro into who you are and what Whop is?
Yeah, my name is Steven. I'm CEO and one of the co-founders of Whop. I grew up building a bunch of different internet businesses, and Whop is the place where people go and earn an income on the internet. So you can use Whop to sell uh, content, information, services, software, and a whole slew of different things. We are based in Brooklyn, New York, and we people on our platform earn $1.5 billion a year, and we are very excited about the future of the internet economy.
Is that true? People on Whop earn $1.5 billion a year.
It's true.
How much is that up from last year, 2 years, 3 years ago?
I think we've like basically 4x since this time last year. And I mean, I think that the future is like very entrepreneurial, right? I mean, if you look at where people are going from 10 years ago, you had like three different routes. You could be like a doctor, lawyer, or consultant or investment banker. But I mean, now you can be basically anything you want. And I don't think that creativity and like desire of freedom is going to stop. So I'd say that we're very early still. And I mean, we look at this as like a very much future, and we haven't really done shit yet. So I'd say, yeah, about 4x since last year, and people from now all over the world are selling on Whop, and it's pretty cool.
Dude, 4x in a year is crazy. What happened? Like why has Whop 4x in a year?
I think that we have done a lot to invest in like um, our platform usability. And when we first started, we just thought that we started in sneaker bot rentals. I don't know if you remember that, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people could go on, they could list their desktop software for sale, and from there, every single time there was a major movement on the internet, we tried to build a product that could help people start businesses around it. And I think what happened was we just continued to build different flows for people to level up their business, and more and more people were really interested in starting businesses. I mean, we've done a lot of shit over the last year, but I would attribute it to just like this broader movement of people really want to have an income stream that they control. And I think that it's never been a better, easier time to create value on the internet, and the whole world is kind of coming around to this in conjunction with a lot of improvements we made to the product. I mean, we're very adamant about building the best platform ever. So every day we just wake up and think like, what is the biggest problem we can solve today? And we try to solve it. And that compounds. And I mean, yeah, we've grown a lot.
We've talked a little bit. I was a sneaker kid through and through at the beginning, and sneaker botting was huge. I don't think a lot of the crypto people don't really realize it, but the sneaker to crypto pipeline was very tight. That market was pretty fucking big at one point.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, I think that the evolution was like you resold shoes on maybe eBay, and then you built sneaker bots, and then maybe you did some drop shipping, and then you got into trading, and then you got into NFTs, and now you're doing software or tokens. And that's the lineage of modern entrepreneur.
Basically, yeah. Of the 1.5 billion creators earn on Whop, I don't know if you could say this. How much do you guys make from that?
I can't say that, but I mean, you can kind of do the rough math.
Yeah.
I guess.
That the 4x is crazy. I didn't think it was that extreme, but I feel like Whop has been everywhere on my fucking feed recently. What are the out of the 1.5 billion, what are like what is the vertical that has the most earners? Like what are people making the most money from on Whop?
Yeah, well, the most money is actually made from clippers. It's like the most amount of people who are making money are clipping, but the most money comes from different verticals. So when we first started, again, it was sneaker bots. That was like all of the volume, and then naturally that kind of progressed to say, what else do sneaker botters like to do? Well, they like to do dropshipping. They like to do e-commerce. So we had a lot of Shopify and Amazon vertical. Products, so education and private communities around that, and then sports betting became legal in a bunch of states, and you had a lot of innovation from FanDuel and DraftKings, and that became very popular. And then Robinhood and Coinbase started to come out, and you had all this retail trading movement, which became very popular. So, and then right now, it's actually I think one of the more popular themes on Whop is like social media and how to nail social media. So when we look at the trends on Whop, it's very similar to what you see on broader social media, except on Whop is actually where commerce happens and where people can earn money around the trends that are happening on broader social. So right this literal second, I mean, obviously crypto stuff is always huge. Trading stuff is always huge. I think there's a lot of really unique stuff that I've seen people tap into around like niches on Facebook groups where you have maybe like even things like fitness training for older women, or you have like how to train canines and build a canine breeding center, or looks a lot of looks maxing stuff. And I mean, I think it's becoming more diverse. It was really exciting for us. And I mean, we would never have even remotely hypothesized that some of the things are sold like the things I just mentioned. But it's the verticals that you'd expect. I think we have like a most money made category, and that's like real estate, trading, social media stuff, um, things like that.
When I first asked you this, I was gonna assume you were gonna say that like 99% of WAP activity was pure trading groups, and that's just like not the case.
Yeah, it's not the case. It's definitely like a very popular theme, right? I mean, you look at like any average 17-year-old's TikTok feed, it's going to be a lot of trading. So, I mean, that's ultimately where I think people like to spend a lot of their time. And I mean, I love trading. I'm no different. And uh, I would say though that there's a lot of dating stuff. I mean, there's any relevant social trend that you're going to see, we'll have a version of it on WAP. And I mean, when we look at what we want WAP to be is like the real time index where people can see truth as to how much money people are making in different niches, and that's what the consumers really want, and it happens on WAP.
You sit in a cool spot because you have foresight into everything that's happening with the cool internet people, which are just the cool people, and like what is getting hot, what they're working on. Do you think that the vertical of trading, even broader than crypto, but just trading shit on the internet, is like in explosion J curve growth, or it's kind of stalled out?
Well, I think that the room to innovate on what the underlying business models that traders are able to offer a set of customers is going to evolve a lot. And I mean, when you look at history, it's like the OG, anybody that made money trading that is not making money purely from actually trading, they could have built, you could have done courses, you could have done paid groups, you could do all this stuff. But what does it look like in the future to like 10x that? And some of the things that we're really excited about are like, what does it look like for you to have your own trading exchange, for example? Or what does it look like for you to be able to launch your own token? Things like that. It's obviously probably not as the best one, but the trading exchange is a good example of like things that we're thinking about and how we elevate what the existing business models today of trading are. So I'm very, very bullish on trading. That's not going anywhere. I think the business models that support trading will definitely change. And I mean, we spend almost all of our waking day thinking, how can we 10x what the underlying business models are in these verticals?
Whoa, that yeah, your own exchange is insane. Also, I don't want to lose this one. Oh wait, go ahead. Were you say something?
No, I agree.
Okay.
It is insane. It's very cool. 'Cause, I mean, traditionally you had to be like Robinhood. I mean, Robinhood has a team of 1,000 people and has crazy infrastructure to be able to build an exchange. But there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to click a couple buttons and launch your own threadguy exchange, right? Like, that's a much cooler feature.
Has anyone done that?
We're working on it in beta. It's a I don't know if anybody else has done. I think there's been a couple examples of other platforms maybe trying to do something similar, but we uh, we haven't launched it yet.
And like, why would I, Thread Guy, launch a trading exchange? You don't, if you don't want to give the
Well,
sauce
because
away, you don't have to. But
Well, no, no. The way like so when we look at the business models is like how do you actually ultimately make revenue on it? And if you sell information, you sell a paid group, that's great. You can charge members for that, and that's how you make your money. But if you have a free group and you want to monetize today, maybe you'll send them all to like affiliates on other platforms and get a kickback of the volume. But that doesn't really feel like it's your exchange. You're still kind of selling them out. But if you did make a volume and it was competitive with the other platforms and people could copy trade you and so on, then all of a sudden it gets pretty interesting, and you'd actually make a lot of money from hosting your own exchange while also giving all your users like pretty elevated value. And I mean, live streaming in the bottom left, and you're just trading on your own exchange with all your users also using it.
that's a crazy take because you're right. You do have to just send people off to other products that have already been built, and you take like a small kickback while they fucking just rake it in.
Yeah. Yes. And you don't really own that end customer. You can't really talk to them directly about their experience, and you don't really have any customization as to what pairs are available, what color the exchange is, and so on. So I agree.
That's a crazy take. Also, I don't want this one to get lost. You mentioned clipping. Most the highest volume of people that make money on WAP are clippers. And it's funny because crypto Twitter is always late to content trends. I think it's always like 2 or 3 years late. And so one thing that we started doing really hard with the stream is that we have this kid Jack who's a wizard, and he's just clipping all day, and we're spending all of our effort on clipping. And there's this whole the whole world of crypto is like now becoming aware that whoa, you can actually like you can make like 10K, 15K, 20K a month as a clipper, and it's like a lot of people like didn't even realize this was a thing. Like, how big is the clipping industry?
Clipping industry is huge, and it's actually been around for much longer than people think. It's just very not productized well, you know, and like there's a lot of it's a very loose. You have a bunch of you don't really know who's clipping for you. It's very hard to find clippers. It's hard to give payment to them. It's hard to validate. I mean, we have obviously a lot of problems with clipping that we're trying to solve still around validation and how do we make it in a way that you can truly go on and paste in video and all of a sudden that video is just everywhere on social media. Like that's obviously ideal. But clipping's huge. And I mean, what clipping, when you go on Instagram Reels or TikTok, all you really see is like half-ass AI slop that's likely clipped. So I mean, it's massive, and that's video is absolutely the future. So I'm very bullish on clipping as an income source. If you have like an Uber driver, right? Would they prefer to be driving an Uber or would they prefer to be clipping? And the only reason they wouldn't prefer to do clipping is because they don't know it exists yet or they don't know how to do it. So I think huge opportunity in things like that, and clipping itself is I guess metaphorical to like marketing, and that's huge. So I think it's massive.
The real sauce is it's become the underbelly of the internet is clipping. The underbelly of internet content. And what people really don't realize is there's like, especially on the mainstream streamer side, there's like 10 accounts that just determine the narrative on, like, they like set the trend and then everyone else follows. Just like 10 accounts that control the narrative on Twitter. It's wild. And people don't really realize it. They just mindlessly consume it because you're in the matrix on it, but it's wild how big it is.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and then you have Twitter is like small relative to Meta and TikTok, where you really have like if you know what you're doing, I mean, you can do some pretty crazy stuff on uh, on getting any message you want out to the masses on those platforms. So yeah, it's nuts. People don't realize it. Most of the stuff you see is definitely BS and or maybe not BS, but it has a alternative incentives that you're not aware of.
There you go. You guys, okay, so you made this big announcement. I think it was yesterday that you're fully independent now from Stripe. For the payment perspective, what does that even mean?
So it means that we've built a lot of our own payments rails that allow us so much more flexibility on everything from what payment methods we accept to which countries we can pay out to which ways we can pay out. I mean, you can now get paid out in Bitcoin or stablecoin in basically every single country in the world, which those are things that Stripe doesn't really support. So that's what it means, I guess. It means that we've invested a lot in our payments, and now you can kind of do a little bit more things that are important to some people than you can on Stripe.
So do you see the future of Whop being like a legit competitor in the payment space? Like, are you a Stripe competitor at this point?
Well, I think that I mean I've been using Stripe since I was like 12 or 13 years old, and I love Stripe more than anything. And I think that we serve very different markets. I think it's when you look at what we're trying to do, we're really trying to bring the idea and dream of entrepreneurship to people that haven't really had that ability. And payments are just one part of the stack. So when you are trying to set up a business, payments are, of course, like you have to have payments, but after that, what else do you need? And it doesn't stop there. But in Stripe scenario, like they're very focused on payments and they're focused on enterprises that need huge, very big payments infra.
Yeah.
Whereas like the retail entrepreneur that's coming on, they need building blocks to start a business. They need discovery, and of course they need payments. So I don't view us in Stripe in the same market share. I think that they've done a phenomenal job and they're going to continue to do a great job. But we're going for I think a little bit different of a market.
And you're sort of solving for a customer that just didn't really have a dedicated solution prior to this.
Well, I think that I mean, when I started using Stripe, it was amazing for what I needed it for. And I think that they're still amazing for so many things. But when you look at like somebody that doesn't have any business experience, there's just a lot more to it than payments. That's just the first part of it. But you need so much more to really get your business up and running.
So I only also recently started using Whop. We use it now for clipping, TikTok, Instagram, and it's actually like you've done very well. What is the Whop App Store? Can you break down what that is, how that
Yeah.
works?
So the Whop App Store is like probably one of the most exciting parts of the future of our platform, and that's where you get into the trading exchanges concept that I was talking to you about earlier. the App Store is effectively a way for businesses to have practically infinite building blocks that they can construct any business that they want from, where previously you'd have to hire like a bunch of developers, a big team, and now you have third-party developers building software for businesses. So that was a way that we decided to make our platform really flexible. When we've had customers from different teams and different verticals ask us for features, we didn't necessarily want to spend a bunch of time building these like really niche features for like a trading exchange, for
Yeah,
example. But
yeah,
now somebody else can build that and integrate it into our platform very easily. And then all of a sudden the developer gets a lot of usage out of the box because they're in front of a bunch of businesses. And the business has like this crazy superpower where they don't have to code at all. And all these no code tools, they kind of suck. You can't
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
build a full blown platform on them quite yet. We think software is going to get a lot easier to build. And we think that businesses are going to need a lot more ephemeral software that kind of evolves with the times as new trends pop up, and one click you add a crazy product to your business is pretty awesome. So that's what the Whop App Store is all about.
Dude, I feel like you guys are working on so many things. Like, how big is your team?
About 50.
Whoa. How big was it this time last year?
It's actually gonna be a little more, honestly.
Whoa,
I
really?
think I've been trying to keep a very, very lean squad. I think it gets not fun when you have too many people, and it's hard to communicate. And I'd say that the future is definitely revolves around more lean teams, and maybe a little more than 50, 55 or 60. But yeah, I'm very bullish on small teams, and it's a lot more fun. And I mean, there's so much leverage that's been created with anything from AI and just
Yeah.
making smarter decisions all around. So very bullish on small teams, and we hope to have like the most elite small group of people that are taking over the internet.
Everyone,
So yeah.
everyone in the chat wants to know if you have room for one more on the team. So I don't know. Um, Back to creators on WAP. Do you think the concept of course selling can get bigger from where it is right now, or has that already topped?
I think you have to really look at it from first principles. Like people want to learn new shit all the time. That's like a very critical part of life. And I think that courses is like very internet 1.0, and maybe 2.0, right? And like, what is the future of courses? It's not just a static video content and you're watching it, right? Like that's kind of lame and boring. What we think is the future for education is like much more community elements in there. You have software that you can use to layer on top of the underlying skill you're learning. So if you're going to learn a course, imagine you have a course about teaching you how to use AI, how to write copy with AI. Previously, maybe you have just like a static video content, someone lecturing you. Now you have that, you have a group chat underneath, and you have the actual software to write copy that
Yeah.
is someone built. And that's the future of that archaic business model that once existed. So I think that the people that are selling courses, the desire of like the consumers to buy courses, that's going to go straight up. Like I really think it's really crazy, to be honest, and I'm blown away every time that the market just continues to get so much bigger. But the ways they're selling the underlying business model, I think, will evolve in really awesome ways that are just more fun and more valuable and easier for people to go and sell. So yes, I think it's here to stay. It'll evolve to be better though.
I like the take that
More,
like the first principles take that people want to learn shit, period. And then I also think there's this like evolution happening where the next generation of that squad is increasingly more influential in the mainstream culture. Like, bro, TJR is huge in 2025. Like, these guys are. I had Brett Scales on a couple weeks, like a week ago. He's like, bro, these people are getting really. Like, I feel like this new generation will far surpass like some of the OGs in that like ecom, infofi type of scene, and they're becoming like real deal celebrities.
yeah, I mean it's insane. I agree, and I love TJ. TJ is one of the most talented people ever. I think it's I think you're absolutely right. Like you have this big movement of like going away from large institutions that are teaching you everything to learning from people, and I think that's definitely here to stay. And I mean, yeah, you just mentioned some like major people that the younger folks look up to, and I think that's going to continue.
How did you do that ad? Was so sick. The GTA ad with Brez and TJR in that.
That was our creative director Harry. He's an animal.
Bro, give that kid a raise. That was so good. That was
Yeah.
spectacular. I think look, I think one of the like my thesis for this stream and the type of people I want to bring on the stream is basically that this idea of new money or internet finance or internet money is going to just hyper grow in perpetuity. Like obviously crypto, but then there's the prediction market people, there's the InfoFi guys, there's the people that are making 7, 8 figures on Roblox. There's the people that trade CS:GO skins full time. There's people that flip Pokemon cards, or better,
Yeah.
make platforms for you to flip Pokemon cards. Like, where do you see the future of, I don't know, internet finance? I don't even know what you call it, but where do you see the future of internet finance going? Because WAP is just like on the front lines.
Oh yeah, people are fucking selling sperm racing now, you know?
He's
Like
coming on.
it's
Yeah,
really crazy.
he's coming on in an hour.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that it's if I could summarize it all, I think it's just going to go so niche. You know, like it's just going to go so niche and so ephemeral that it gives people so much more fun, and like it's just everything else gets stale. And you know this better than anybody, but like the frequency at which all this operates is just insanely fast, and the dopamine is just there's a new bar set for what brings dopamine. So I think the internet finance it's truly really it's like it's a real economy. You know, you have different roles, different specialization, and it's a whole different beast. Like I think Ready Player One is somewhat imminent, and I think yeah.
I think we basically live it. Also, it's gonna go hyper niche, hyper vertical. I think, especially in the age of AI, is like that's like the take. You can literally
Yeah,
monetize any semblance of a skill whatsoever, and there's a legitimate market for it, so you can make a living off it. You could not do that before.
totally.
That's a sick take. I like that. I hadn't thought about it on the niche thing. You talk about there's like dog trainers on WAP and shit. Like I mean I don't know. I took my dog to get trained. My mom took the dog to a trainer back in the day, but like she wasn't buying a course on it on WAP in 2010. You know.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's nuts. I mean, I think that there's like a lot of room to like match make these things better too. Because like, when you hear these things, you never thought of them before. It really expands your mind as to what is possible and what how many different words really are at play to like define a different niche. And when you only realize it after you see it or you say it, which is why I think like when you look at like using ChatGPT or using Instagram or TikTok, it's very very different because one of them, the latter will tell you what you should look at, and one of them you have to know what you have to type in. And I think that the internet's really cool because you just get to explore all these things you never knew existed. And when you put it in context of commerce, I love buying shit, and I don't know what I want to buy. You got to kind of tell me what I could buy, and that's coming true.
One of the most underrated inventions of the 2020s is Instagram ads. I'm just gonna say it, man. You could take all of my data and use it against me if you're gonna give me a fire ad on IG. This is like one of the best inventions of the
100%.
2020s.
I agree. People are like, "Oh, I love my privacy and shit." Like, I do too, but like, I want to buy what they tell me I want. That's it's value add for sure. I cannot agree more. Meta has really nailed it, and I think I it's pretty crazy. Internet's getting nuts.
It's gotten so invasive because it works. Like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I don't know if the movie Fantastic Mr. Fox, watched it, absolute banger. I get off, pop on IG, and there's an ad for a T-shirt, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I copped it instantly, like of course, of
Yeah,
course. I wear it on stream, like of course. This shit was a
yeah,
heater. Um,
yeah.
how do I invest in WAP? Like, are you guys gonna launch a coin? Like, what's the deal here?
Yeah, it's I really want to let everybody that wants to invest. It's really hard. I think yeah, I'll get back to you. I don't it's tough. There's yeah, there's a lot of people that I think would be awesome to like be aligned and win when we win. And we're trying to figure out how we can do that, but right now it's tricky.
Yeah, I had to ask it. I'll let you go in a minute. I'm curious the people that make the most money on WAP, what separates them from the pack? Like what separates the leaders from the rest of creators on WAP?
Yeah, I mean it's exactly what you expect. I mean these guys are really sharp and really talented, and they work their ass off, and they do their research. They know what they're talking about. They ultimately have to do provide pretty good services to people. Otherwise, they're not going to really have that many customers to sell to. So I think that a lot of people look at some of the products and they're like, "That's a scam. That's a scam." It's like, well, what is a scam? Like people are like it and they're happy with it, and those are the people that ultimately do the best. So I think it's who does the best in real business. I mean, you people that are very sharp and talented, and they work their ass off, and they do their research, they do their homework, and they grind like nonstop. And that's I think representative of people that do well on WAP.
My favorite part about the new internet economy that just wasn't true in the like early 2010s is it's so hyper competitive that if you're not the best and you're not just like demanding attention, you just will not make money. And so anytime I see people complain about, oh, he just bots engagement and like is a course seller, it's like, no. He's like the best at it. Because there's only a finite amount of liquidity to go around, right? And everyone is doing this now. This is 2025, man. Like maybe the people over 30 plus don't realize this, but everyone is doing this. And it's become the most hyper, like your dollar is going somewhere. If it's not going to me, it's going to somewhere else. Your view, if you're not watching me on stream, you're watching fucking TVPN or somebody else. It's become like the most competitive scene in the world. And I think you guys extrapolate that, and it's pretty sick.
Love it. No, fun combo.
I'll let you go. Last thing, is there anything you're about to announce or ship or anything you wanted to say that I didn't ask you about?
No, but we have a lot of stuff cooking, so stay tuned.
So come after you 4x again, 2026, come back on stream. But Steven, you're the GOAT, man. Thanks for the time, dude.